At Truth Quotient LLC, we wanted to compare the presidential and vice presidential candidates using the same standards. First, we asked our tool, Legit, to find the top 6 traits a person running for president should have. We'll show you that list at the beginning and the end of the presentation, first to let you know what we'll cover and later to grade the candidate we're talking about. The 6 most essential traits for a president are: 1. Ability to bring about change in Washington. 2. Honesty and integrity. 3. Leadership ability. 4. Experience and competence. 5. Empathy and humanity. 6. Communication. We'll give the candidate a brief biography and then decide if the candidate has the traits that Legit found for us. Our second candidate is J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance's life story. J.D. Vance, born James Donald Bowman on August 2, 1984, in Middletown, Ohio, is an American politician, author, and Marine veteran.
Given where he came from, J.D. Vance should have been a grim statistic. His parents grew up poor in rural Kentucky. His own tough childhood was in the Rust Belt ruins of Ohio. But Vance escaped what he calls his cultural inheritance, wrote a memoir about it, and landed on the bestseller list.
He had a rough childhood, served in the military, and later had a successful career in law and politics. Vance's parents, Don and Bev Bowman, divorced when he was a toddler. His mother changed his middle name to David, and later, he took his mother's maiden name, Vance. His grandparents, James and Bonnie Vance, played a significant role in raising him, especially his grandmother, Mama, who greatly influenced his life. After finishing high school in 2003, Vance joined the U.S. Marine Corps, where he worked as a military journalist and spent 6 months in Iraq. When he returned, he handled media relations and eventually became a corporal. The military taught him essential life skills and discipline. Using the GI Bill, Vance attended Ohio State University and graduated summa cum laude with a degree in political science and philosophy in 2009. He then went to Yale Law School, where a professor encouraged him to write his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. Vance graduated from Yale Law School in 2013. J.D. Vance is married to Usha Chilukuri Vance, and they have 3 children together, Ewan, Vivek, and Mirabelle. Ewan is their eldest child, born in June 2017, followed by Vivek, born in 2020, and Mirabelle, born in December 2021.
The most determined person I knew with one overriding ambition: to become a husband and a father, and to build the kind of tight-knit family that he had longed for as a child.
J.D. Vance's ability to bring about change in Washington. Donald Trump's newly selected running mate, J.D. Vance is ready to bring significant changes to Washington. He is much younger than Trump and represents a new wave of ideas in the Republican Party. Vance's journey from criticizing Trump to being a strong supporter is impressive. Vance supports economic reforms different from traditional conservative views, like raising the minimum wage and working on a banking bill with Senator Elizabeth Warren. He also has different views on foreign policy, such as opposing U.S. aid to Ukraine. These positions show that Vance could bring significant changes to Washington.
So I have worked with him following the crash, you may remember last March, when Silicon Valley Bank went under, and largely because the banking executives had loaded those banks up on the risk, taken huge bonuses and salaries for themselves, and then of course crashed the banks. My view was we need to change the law so that we can claw that money back. I reached out to a lot of Republicans and Democrats on the banking committee. J.D. Vance is one of them, and he stepped up.
J.D. Vance's honesty and integrity. There's no clear evidence that J.D. Vance is always honest and has integrity. In fact, he has been criticized for changing his views and making contradictory statements. For example, Vance criticized Trump in 2016 but later apologized and now supports him. Vance's political views have changed a lot, making some people think he's more interested in gaining power than holding consistent beliefs. He has also been fact-checked multiple times, and some of his statements have been rated as false or mostly false. J.D. Vance's leadership ability. There is evidence that J.D. Vance has leadership qualities. He has worked with different lawmakers, including some from the opposite party, to push for corporate accountability. Vance's influence in the New Right, a group of young conservatives, also shows his leadership abilities. He is seen as a strategic thinker who aims to reshape the Republican Party. J.D. Vance's experience and competence. J.D. Vance doesn't have a traditional political background, which some might see as a lack of experience in government. However, his supporters believe that his understanding of American communities, education, and business experience give him unique skills that could be useful in the presidency.
The television audience for this convention thus far has not been particularly large by modern standards. One might expect that people will tune in tonight to hear from this new running mate for Donald Trump, who many people will have never heard of before this week. J.D. Vance is not a widely known public figure.
J.D. Vance's empathy and humanity. J.D. Vance has been criticized for lacking empathy and humanity. For example, he defended Kyle Rittenhouse, a teenager who killed 2 people during a protest but didn't show the same concern for victims of racialized police violence. Vance has also been accused of having sexist views and using Appalachian stereotypes in his memoir to gain popularity. Some people believe that Vance's actions show a lack of true concern for the people he claims to represent.
Trump would revive the horrific policy of family separation in an interview with NBC's Meet the Press. Take a look.
Will families be separated under your mass deportation policy?
I think that families are currently being separated, and you're certainly going to have to deport some people in this country. Now, I think you
So
start
that's a
with
yes?
there was a zero
Okay.
tolerance policy during the Trump administration, and that led to less family separation than under Kamala Harris's border policies. That's what's so striking about this. Actually enforcing our border is the most humane thing for children and certainly for American citizens.
But I don't.
J.D. Vance's communication skills. Yes, J.D. Vance is known for being a good communicator. He has a talent for connecting with different groups of voters and effectively conveying his message. Vance's debating skills and speeches have been praised for their clarity and impact.
Mr. President, I will never take for granted the trust you have put in me. And what an honor it is to help achieve the extraordinary vision that you have for this country. Now, I pledge to every American, no matter your party, I will give you everything I have.
J.D. Vance's report card. Finally, J.D. Vance's report card is based on our discussed traits. A green check means a passing score, a red X means a failing score. We hope you found our presentation on J.D. Vance informative. Please share it with friends and family. Our next piece will be on Kamala Harris.